do a small kirtan and then we'll get started. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Bhava Girivara Hari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Bhava Hari. Yashodanandana Brajana Rangana Yamuna Tira Banachari. Yashodanandana Brajana Rangana Yamuna Tira Banachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Bhava Girivaradhari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Bhava Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajana Rangana Yamuna Tira Banachari. Yashodanandana Brajana Rangana Yamuna Tira Banachari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai Gurudev, Gurudev, Jai Jai Gurudev, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Shri Radha Gopi Vallabha ki jai, Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai, Shri Nitai Gauranga Bhagwan की जय, श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिम्हा स्वामी भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, वृंदावन गोस्वामी की जय, श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, ट्रांसलेशन बुद्धिस्ट की जय, ट्रांसलेशन वृक्षावन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय, श्री ब्रह्म मध्य गौड़ी गुरु परंपरा सांप्रदाय की जय, ऐसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavatasaya Bhagavati Uttama Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namah Pankajanaabhaya Namah Pankajamaline Namah Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangre Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gauradushe Namaha Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanahitaya Jagadita Krishna Govinda Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyat Deshkarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gauravaktovinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Kum karoti vacharam pangam langayate girim yatripahatavam vande Shri Gurun Dilatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Om pavitro pavitro va sarvavastham gatopi va yat smaret pundarikaksha sabhyabhyantaram suchi. Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Matajis. You can hear my voice clearly.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Krishna. It will be nice if you all, I mean, some of you at least can enable your videos. I can barely feel if you're comfortable. So, Projan Matajis, welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam class. A beautiful schedule that is Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada has left for us. The morning schedule, right? Whereby we get up in the morning, we attend Mangalarti, we worship their lordships, and then we do our 16 rounds of chanting, and then we, perform Guru Arti, and then we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Any speaker, it doesn't matter really who is the speaker, as long as he is a practicing devotee and he is reading the Bhagavatam, right? So Bhagavatam is more important here than the speaker. Never a speaker is more important than Bhagavatam, because the content of Bhagavatam itself is so pure that it purifies not only the audience but also the speaker who speaks it, right? So I was hearing from a senior devotee that we should not have favorites when it comes to from which devotee you want to hear Bhagavatam. We should not have that feeling of favoritism. We still have that. That is nothing wrong with it. But in essence, you should always remember that from anyone who hear Bhagavatam, any devotee, senior or junior, Bhagavatam purifies. Right? And today's topic I chose is about retirement. One of the famous topics that Bhagavatam also speaks about. Right? When to retire, how to retire, and retire and do what. So I'm sure all of you are in different stages of your life, stages of your careers also, and have your own set of struggles and challenges. And in Grahastha life, everybody here in this call of Grahasthas, people who have a family, wife, husband, children, responsibilities, and so many other things, right? Still you're practicing spiritual life. That's very applaudable, very, very difficult in today's day and time. See, in earlier days, people could simply work for some hours in a day, and people who are more, what do you call that, attached to agricultural, kind of profession, they would not work throughout the day. They had a schedule in the morning, and then they would take rest, and then also do community activities like festivals and spiritual activities in the villages. The environment itself was so conducive, so natural, and Sattva-guna was everywhere. But now, to practice something like that is practically not possible. Still, all of you are trying to attend these morning classes, to continue your speech, spiritual life by chanting minimum 16 rounds. It's really, really applaudable. It's not an ordinary thing. Today's day and time, how can one chant 16 rounds? Right? Recently, I was hearing to Gauranga Prabhu, and he was saying, my senior godbrother, Gauranga Prabhu, so he was saying that once he was in a yatra and he met one gentleman, and he was sharing his room with one grahastha, and he said, that we met in the we've never talked. We were both busy in our own yatra. So, but one evening, the grahastha was so upset when he was sitting on the bed, and Gauranga Prabhu went to the room and he asked, "So what's going on? Prabhuji, kya ho gaya? Sab kuch theek hai? You don't look happy or you don't look normal." Then the grahastha told Prabhu, "I still have 12 rounds of my chanting to be done." At 9 o'clock, he told that I still have 12 rounds to do. Kya karu, Prabhu? Subah se, I had some other material difficulties and some job related things and family related things, and then I'm called into different meetings, and by the time I finished everything, it's already 7-8, right? And then I just had dinner and I came back. Now I have to chant 12 rounds. I mean, of course he chanted, but he was just sharing with Gauranga Prabhu that unless so Prabhuji was saying, unless we structure our life, unless we prioritize spirituality in our life, and unless we get up early in the morning, 16 rounds, chanting 16 rounds is a very big burden. Like yesterday, I could not get up early and finish my rounds. So I was practically chanting till evening. Each round was like a Brahma's day, doesn't get over. You're just chanting the same, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So difficult. So we all have to structure our life. It's our choice. Spiritual life is very good, sublime, and easily practicable if we get up in the morning. One of the instructions of my own Guru Maharaj, Radhanath Swami, is Maharaj is get up early in the morning. So difficult, isn't it? One simple instruction. We talk about we'll follow Guru's instruction. His one simple instruction is so difficult to follow. Get up in the morning and finish your rounds attentively. And then rest of the day will be Krishna consciously surcharged, right? So that's the instruction of Acharyas, and that's the instruction of all our Gurus, and they're showing it. But for we Grahasthas, we have to struggle to make it happen, and that struggle is part of our life. So today we are going to discuss about how Dhritarashtra retired, right? What exactly happened, how Dhritarashtra retired. As we all know, most of us know that Pandavas won the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and then King Yudhishthira, he assigned his responsibilities to most of the Pandavas, and practically there were no grandsons. So there was only one grandson, Parikshit. So that one grandson, he brought him to a stage where he can also rule the kingdom. Right? He can also rule the kingdom. So he brought him to that stage. And at that time, Vidura, Maharshi Vidura, he was visiting back to Hastinapur. Right, he was coming back to Hastinapur. He had a long conversations, meetings with Maitreya Muni throughout the Bhagavat, and he comes back to Hastinapur. And as soon as Pandavas see Vidura, they are so happy, And they immediately go and ask Vidura, hey, Vidura, our dear uncle and most worshipable, person, thank you for coming back. And we are eager to know where all you went, whom all you spoke to, right? What did you learn? Can you share your journey with us? Can you share what all? But in this whole question, most important focus of Yudhishthira was, did you go to Dwarka? Did you go to Dwarka? And did you meet Lord Krishna? And tell us more about your journey. So actually they wanted to hear more about Krishna, but they also wanted to know where all Vidura went. So Vidura starts answering to Yudhishthira, that following place they went, but he tells everything about his journey, but he doesn't tell about one thing. He doesn't tell about the truth of Yadu dynasty getting annihilated. He doesn't tell that. By then only, Lord Krishna had already left this planet. The whole Yadu dynasty, Dwarka, was submerged and it doesn't exist anymore. Lord Krishna actually left the planet, and he is back in his eternal abode. Actually, he's always in his eternal abode. It's when that he just goes back also. So Vidura, he doesn't say to Yudhishthira about this incident, because he feels that let people know the fact when it is supposed to be known. Why do I need to, as it is, I see that Yudhishthira is in a very unhappy mode, that he still feels that he is the reason for killing so many kins, so many relatives and descendants. He is the reason for the murder. So why should I tell another story about Lord Krishna, which will make him more upset, right? So he felt that they will know it eventually. Sooner or later, Pandavas will know. So then, here is the conversation. Sukadeva Goswami is showing, I'm just going to share my screen. Yeah. So can you all see my screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you. So here is a conversation that that Vidura is going to have with Dhritarashtra. But before that, this verse comes by Sukadeva Goswami. So we'll start from here. We'll try to see how many verses we'll finish. Okay, I'm not going to go to detailed purports. I've already read them. I'll try to give some essence out of it. Some purports we'll read. Like this purport we'll read. It's a big purport and it has a lot of things to learn from Srila Prabhupada. So verse, translation and purport by joined is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So please repeat after me if you can. Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 13th chapter, 17th sloka. Right, 13th chapter is what? It is about, wait a second, let me...
Dhritarashtra retires timely.
Yeah, yes, so Dhritarashtra
Quits home.
Quits home, right? So he gets retirement. So that's the chapter name. So we are directly going below to verse number 17. Okay. So Vidura, so after Vidura comes to Hastinapur, he gets to know about Dhritarashtra. That his brother is still there and he is very fearful, right? He's not in a very comfortable state, he's in a very fearful state. And he's trying to still enjoy his senses, right? Staying in the kingdom, he's trying to still find means and ways to enjoy his senses. Please repeat after me. Evam griheshu shaktanam.
Evam griheshu saktanam.
Evam griheshu saktanam.
Evam griheshu saktanam.
तुम्हें आता है पढ़ना?
Saktanam tad iyaha. Pramattanam tad iyaha. Yakramad
तदीहया अतिक्रम ज्ञातः कालः परम
Atyakramaad avignada avignata kala parama dustara kala parama dustara
अरे हम गए थे ना वो मेरे वाले
Shaktanam paramatmanam
ज्यादा अच्छा
tad iyaha atyakramad avignata kala parama dustara.
Greshu
तदीहया काल परमदस्तुस्तर
Yeah.
That telecast नहीं Zoom meeting
Good you all. So I'll read the synonyms and then I'll ask you to read the translation. Evam, thus, griheshu, in the family affairs, saktanam, of persons who are too attached. Paramattanam, insanely attached. Paramattanam. I should put this on my office desk. Paramattanam, insanely attached. Tat ihaya, grossed in such thoughts. Atyakramat, surpassed. Avignata, imperceptibly. Kala, eternal time. Parama, supremely. Dustara is insurmountable. Right, let's read the translation. Yes. Please repeat after me. Insurmountable eternal time.
Insurmountable eternal time.
Imperceptibly overcomes those
Imperceptibly overcomes those
who are too attached, who are too much attached to family affairs.
who are too much attached to family affairs.
They are always engrossed in their thought. Yes. Right. So here it is being mentioned. So the time is an enemy to people who are not Krishna conscious. And time is a very good friend of devotees who are Krishna conscious. Right. So insurmountable eternal time imperceptibly overcomes those who are too much attached to family affairs and are always engrossed in their thought. Right. Let us read the purport and then we'll discuss and then we'll go forward. Purport. Please hear attentively as I read it. I am now happy. I have everything in order. My bank balance is quite enough. I can now give my children enough estate. I am now successful. The poor beggar sannyasis depend on God, but they come to beg from me. Therefore, I am more than the supreme God. These are some of the thoughts which engross the insanely attached householder who is blind to the passing of eternal time. Our duration of life is measured and no one is able to enhance it even by a second against the scheduled time ordained by the Supreme Will. Such valuable time, especially for the human being, should be cautiously spent because even a second passed away from imperceptibly cannot be replaced. Even in exchange of thousands of golden coins amassed by hard labor. Every second in human life is meant for making an ultimate solution to the problems of life. That is repetition of birth, death, and revolving in the cycle of 8.4 million species, different species of life. The material body, which is subject to birth and death, diseases and old age, is a cause of all sufferings of the living being. Otherwise, the living being is eternal. He is never born, nor does he ever die. Foolish persons forget this problem. They do not know at all how to solve the problems of life, but become engrossed in temporary material affairs, not knowing that eternal time is passing away imperceptibly, and that their measured duration of life is diminishing every second, without any solution to the big problem, namely repetition of birth and death, disease and old age. This is called illusion. One of the anarthas or sananarthas, illusion. But such illusion cannot work on one who is awake in devotional service of the Lord. Yudhishthir Maharaj and his brothers, the Pandavas, were all engaged in service of Lord Sri Krishna. They had very little attraction for illusionary happiness of this material world. As we have discussed previously, Yudhishthir Maharaj was fixed in the service of Lord Mukunda, the Lord who can award salvation. And therefore, he had no attraction even for such comforts of life as are available in the kingdom of heaven. Because even the happiness obtained on the planet Brahmaloka is also temporary and illusory. Because the living entity is eternal, he can be happy only in the eternal abode of the Lord, from which no one returns to this region of repeated birth and death, disease and old age. Therefore, any comfort of life or any material happiness which does not warrant an eternal life is but illusion for the eternal living being. One who understands this factually is learned, and such a learned person can sacrifice any amount of material happiness to achieve the desired goal. So I'm going to read this sentence once again. Please, everyone focus. One who understands this factually is learned, and such a person can be wait a second. Any amount of life or any material happiness which does not warrant an eternal life but is illusion for the eternal living being. One who understands this factually is learned, and such a learned person can sacrifice any amount of material happiness to achieve the desired goal as Brahma Sukham or absolute happiness. Real transcendentalists are hungry for this happiness, and as a hungry man cannot be made happy by all comforts of life minus food stuff, so the man hungry for eternal absolute happiness cannot be satisfied by any amount of material happiness. Therefore, the instruction is described in this verse. Instruction described in this verse cannot be applied to Maharaj Yudhishthir or his brothers and mother. It was meant for persons like Dhritarashtra, for whom Vidura came especially to impart lessons. Hare Krishna. So, Provision Mataji, as it is being explained by Srila Prabhupada, this verse was not for Pandavas. This verse was primarily for non-devotees. Here, Dhritarashtra is a non-devotee, main non-devotee, right? So he never followed the instruction of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna explained him so many times that please give up this desire to rule the kingdom. Hand over the kingdom to the capable next generation. Retire. But he did not retire. He wanted to enjoy his senses, right? And one of the anarthas that overcome him is illusion. So here illusion is being described as something that keeps you away from self-realization. Right? When you're away from self-realization, you are an illusion. Yeah. Okay. So we'll read some more translations of the next verses, and then we will get into a quick discussion. Okay. So we were in 17th verse, which said, insurmountable eternal time imperceptibly overcomes those who are too much attached to family affairs and are always engrossed in their thoughts. Text 18. Mahatma Vidura knew all this, and therefore he addressed Dhritarashtra saying, my dear king, please get out of here immediately. Do not delay. Dhritarashtra saying, do not delay. Just see how fear has overtaken you. So, Prabhuji and Mataji, let us spend a couple of minutes here while I ask you all a question. what is the meaning of fear? Or what is Dhritarashtra fearful? What is the fear that Narad Muni is addressing to Dhritarashtra? What is the fear?
Death.
Fear of losing kingdom? He already lost his kingdom.
Some kind of insecurity, Prabhuji. I think.
Fear of not being able to enjoy his senses. I mean, he will lose that enjoyment.
And
fear of losing power, Prabhuji.
Death.
he already lost the power. He already lost. He's a useless old person in the house.
Prabhuji, as he is getting old, he is not able to enjoy the senses.
Okay. So that creates frustration, right? In old age, people should become very calm and composed. But these days, you see, they are becoming more frustrated. They have retirement plans. This is all Western culture, actually. You know, where people, in order to retire, they sell a good amount of properties, make a big retirement package for themselves. And then both husband and wife, or sometimes only husband or only wife, with that wife or without that husband, they go and stay in another place, right? Trying to find happiness. Trying to find happiness in that independence. I have personally seen Prabhuji, you know, when I was living in US, and sometimes we used to go in drives into the woods, right? New Hampshire. I was living in Boston. So for the fall colors, we used to go to New Hampshire. It's very famous for fall colors. The whole world sees fall colors and says, oh, how beautiful nature is, right? I don't know how many of you, anybody here who has seen fall colors? Anytime in the West, anywhere?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So actually fall colors means the trees are crying, right? They're losing that, what do you say, that in the leaf, the main element?
Chlorophyll.
Huh?
Chlorophyll.
Yeah, chlorophyll. And few other things, you know, which keeps it green. You see, if a leaf is green, it's healthy, right? So it is losing that. Winter is coming, so it's losing it. You know, the whole thing is going to fall. So that is called fall colors. And look at the irony of this world. When all the trees leaves are dying and it's suffering, it's in a lot of pain. And that is a time for glorifying the tree. Ah, how beautiful you are. That is the irony. What our eyes show is not completely true. Again proves, right? We feel that the tree is so beautiful. ఎంత అందంగా ఉందండి, మా ఇంట్లో కూడా ఉంటే బాగుంటుంది కానీ అది ఏడుస్తున్నది. That is crying that, you know, my summer is over, my rainy season is over, now I have to let go, right? Yeah. So Prajan Mataji is here. Dhritarashtra is fearful of what? Here Lord Krishna is here Vidura is saying that you are fearful of death, right? And fearful of what aspect of death? Fearful of what aspect of death is nothing but fear. The word fear itself means false evidence. What is it? Appears real. FEAR, right? False evidence appears real. So you think that it's real, and you start enjoying it. But when you know that it is not, it develops fear. Right? And basically, Dhritarashtra is not prepared for death. He's not prepared for death. It was part of our culture for everyone to become prepared for death. Prepared, trained. They are trained to die. How many of you are trained here to die? Lift your hand. How many of you are trained to die? Meaning death is going to come now. I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps and be ready. Come on, all of us are trained. Why do you say you're not trained? Huh? All you have to do is sing Harinam, right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, don't think training for death includes, joining some membership and, attending some classes. Okay, now everybody try to die. Everybody sleep. Stop your breath. You should feel that you're dead. Like some pranayama class. Like pranayama. Stop your breath. Or start from here. Kapal Bhati, pranayama, all that. You don't need classes for death. Actually, death cannot be taught also, because if you close your breath, you'll die. Right? So the class of death, art of dying is completely hearing God's names, right? Chanting and hearing God's names, and getting prepared for that, right? You should only have Krishna in your life when you're dying. So that is the part of the process. You should only have Krishna in your life. Problem here is Dhritarashtra, even though he lost his children, his most dear children, very dear, Duryodhana, Dushasan, all the remaining 98 brothers, very, very dear to Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. He lost all of them. And then not only that, when he was young, Dhritarashtra, if he had any tension, if he had any doubts, he would go and sit on the lap of whom? Bhishma. Bhishma is also gone. And in the kingdom, when they have any questions which are troubling them, what is the right action to go forward? They also had Drona, right? Drona is also gone. So practically, all his relatives are gone. All his relatives are gone. And Vidura is a Shudra Putra. By birth, he is a Shudra, because he is born to a Dasi. But the Dasi was conceived by Vedavyas. So he is not an ordinary child, Vidura. In fact, he is an incarnation of Swayam Lord Yama, Mother Maharaj's incarnation. So he was the only one who, and he was telling the truth to Dhritarashtra, that Bhaiya, if you lead a life like this, if you live here, at one point, he says, you are being fed by Bhima, he says. He says, you are being fed by Bhima. Bhimudu dinpistunnadu, tintunnavu manchiga, rose Bhimudu pedutunnadu. Like that, Vidura told. Why he told Bhima's name? Anybody? Why he told Bhima's name?
Because he hates Bhima so much because he killed Duryodhana.
And Bhima is the one who killed all his 100 children. The maximum damage that was done by Bhima in the war. Right? And సిగ్గు లేకుండా తెలుగులో చెప్పాలంటే సిగ్గు లేకుండా నీ కొడుకులను చంపిన వాళ్ళ చేతిన కూర్చొని అన్నం తింటున్నావా? రైట్? సో శరం ఉందా? సిగ్గుందా? ఇక్కడి నుంచి get prepared to die. Get out of this place. Right? You're not supposed to be here. This is not your departure. You heard from Krishna what you had to do. You did not implement. You are too attached. You are the reason for the whole battlefield to happen. And after the battlefield is over, your brother's children have won the battlefield. Right? Your brother's children have won the battlefield. It's all over. You don't have anything now. And still, you are sitting in their house and eating every day. What you're eating? You're being served royal dishes. You're being given royal palace. Such a disgrace. Such a disgrace. Why you have to be like this? And if you be like this, Narad Muni is saying, if you be like this, death will become more and more painful for you. Right? It will become very painful for you to leave your house, your kingdom. And what to speak of that? Why do you want to wait for the day when Pandavas might even make you get out? I don't know. Pandavas will never do that. They're always very respectful to their elders. But Vidura is trying to explain that you gave them so much suffering. You made their wife, like abused in front of you. You made it. You took away their kingdom. Their kingdom, they're part of the kingdom. You gave Khandaprastha, they made into Indraprastha, they worked so hard for that, and you took away the Indraprastha. Right? You made them live in forests for how many years? How many years? Anybody? How many years Pandavas were there in the forest?
13.
14 years.
12 years.
14 years, 13 years plus 1. And even before that, their whole life they were in forest only. They barely lived in Hastinapur. Even before that, when they tried to, when they were tried to be killed in, planned to be killed in Khandavaprastha, right? They were planned to be burnt alive along with their mother. They left Khandavaprastha and never came back to Hastinapur. Vidura told you, just stay away. Politically, it's not right time for you to be here. And actually, everybody believed that they died in that fire. Because the family who built that Khandavaprastha also had one mother and 5 sons. And all of them were burned to death in Khandavaprastha. And they felt it is Kunti and the brothers. But Vidura knew it is not. At that time also, they did not return. They were wandering in forest, waiting for Vidura's instruction. And finally the message came, okay, go to the Swayamvar that is happening in Drupad, right? Drupad's kingdom. And when they got married to Draupadi, then they returned and then they got to know that Pandavas are still alive. So that was a long time they lived in exile, away from there. I don't know how many of you have experience of living in a forest or in a remote place. None of us have, right? Why you speak on forest? Go out of your house, live in your own garden of your house. One night you stay in the garden, you'll know what life is, what forest life is. How rishis are living in the forest. You'll know that. Very difficult, very austere. You can't sleep. You have insects, you have pests, you have sounds, whole thing. It's very uncomfortable situation. So Pandavas were subjected for all that. Even though they were the children of Pandu who ruled the planet. Pandu ruled the planet, right? But still they were subjected to all this. So Vidura is telling, hey, Dhritarashtra, my dear brother, my dear elder brother, what insult are you waiting to hear by staying here? What more insult do you want to be insulted? Get out. Let's go. Achieve what is important. So here is a pure devotee. Vidura is a pure devotee. And pure devotee of Krishna. And look at how pure devotee is elevating the consciousness of an ignorant person. Right? And the beauty of Dhritarashtra is he never heard instructions from his brother. He never heard instructions from his brother Vidura throughout his life. But now he heard. Finally he heard. At this stage he heard. So even if you hear the instruction of a pure devotee at the last moment of your life will be perfect. You should learn from this. Even though he did so many wrong things, Krishna still sent his pure devotee saying, okay, tell him this one last time and make him come back to me. So don't think whether you are ready for spiritual life, whether you are doing your spiritual life perfectly, not perfectly. Krishna is in charge. He will take care. Once you've chanted Hare Krishna, you have conveyed to Krishna, Lord Krishna that I am ready. Sorry, I am not ready. Make me ready. Take care of me. Right? So Vidura instructed his brother, Dhritarashtra, that you will be very fearful. Your death will be very fearful. Horrible death. Instead of that, get out of this house. I will take you to the north, to the Himalayas. We all will leave our bodies there. This body is anyway filled with suffering. Right? This body is anyway filled with suffering. It's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time when you stop hearing me also. You can't hear properly. Old age means you can't hear properly. Very difficult. Sometimes people shout in front of old people. So insulting actually, if you look at it externally. Inabadtaleda meeku? Inabadtaleda? Chappana malli? Just the whole conversation. So it's not respectful, isn't it? You're shouting again. See, look, that is old age. Vidura says to Dhritarashtra, hey Dhritarashtra, you can't hear. After some time you can't hear. Now you are able to hear. Hear me, what I'm telling you. After some time you can't see. Anyway, you are blind. You are blind. After some time you can't walk. After some time you'll have mucus in your throat. And you'll be like spitting all the time. Your throat will be choked. Why don't you give up now? Gracefully, now I'll take you to Himalayas. I will teach you how to perform Ashtanga Yoga. I will make you understand the glories of Krishna. Become a devotee. Right? Because see, normally when we leave our body, the soul goes back, everything, all the material elements, everything goes back into Mahatattva. Mahatattva is the material energy of Mahavishnu. From there, all the universes come out. So you go there, and from there, you come back again. Whenever Lord Vishnu takes another breath, all the universes will come out. Brahmas will be created. You will be sent into the universe. You will get a body. Bodies, 8.4 million bodies. Then he keeps rotating in the cycle of birth and death. He just keeps rotating, right? But now here Vidura is telling Dhritarashtra that renounce. Renounce so that you don't go to Mahatattva, you actually surpass the Mahatattva and go back to Krishna. Go back to Krishna. So that's the mercy of pure devotee. We are not supposed to go back, but we are being trained to go back. Right? We are told what one should do to go back. But we'll go back to Krishna only when we are completely detached to everything in this material world, including your wife, your properties, your house, your children. After you just actually, after Dhritarashtra leaves, Yudhishthir, first thing that he does in the morning, Yudhishthir Maharaj, such a virtuous king, right? Such a virtuous king. First thing that he does in the morning is he comes and takes blessings of his Dhritarashtra. Can you believe it? The very person who was the reason for all the turmoil, all the problems, right? He comes every morning and takes his blessings. And this morning when he comes, after Vidura spoke all this and they leave, in the middle of the night, without, Vidura says, don't go tell people that you're going. No discussion. Get up, we are going. That's it. Just get up and let's go. And Gandhari, who is his very chaste wife, follows him. Follows Dhritarashtra, saying, I am with you. My dear husband, all my life I was with you. In this journey also I'll be with you. So they leave in the night. And Yudhishthir gets up in the morning and he goes and sees that he can't see Dhritarashtra, he can't see Gandhari, he can't see Vidura, and he starts crying. Yudhishthir sits down and starts crying. Oh Krishna, what did I do? I could not take care of them nicely. In fact, maybe I have treated them badly, that they left. Please forgive me, Krishna. And what condition they'll be now? I don't know where they are taken care of, where they are living. How can I make sure that they're comfortable wherever they go? Why did they leave? Like that, he'll be asking. So he called Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra called Sanjaya. Hey Sanjay, where is your boss? You're the charioteer, right? You're supposed to take him wherever he goes. So kidhar gaya? Ola Uber karke chala gaya kya? Kidhar gaya? You are supposed to take him, right? You are Sanjay. You are his charioteer. Wow, what are you doing here? And where is my uncle? And Yudhishthir uses beautiful words. Says, leaving, with such great elders leaving, what is the purpose of me being in this kingdom? Yudhishthira is a very loving person. You can't be more. Anybody in this call cannot be as loving as Yudhishthira. You can't even imagine. He is tortured, he is abused, he is cheated. Jyut Sabha mein uska pura izzat nikal diya. Phir bhi is like, my dear uncle. My dear uncle, where are you? Without you, the kingdom is so empty. Whose blessings will I take every morning? How can there be auspiciousness in my kingdom without your presence? That is Yudhishthira. And he starts crying. Oh, how will I take care of? How will I take care of my uncle Dhritarashtra? Kaise dekhunga? How will I take care of him? Like that is thinking. And at that time, one great personality arrives. When Yudhishthira is crying like this, a great personality arrives. Can anyone tell who is that personality? Do you know who comes?
Narad Muni.
Narad Muni comes. Narad Muni comes. Yes. Thank you, Ram Redfoo. So Narad Muni comes. Narad Muni, he comes at a point when people cry. Confusingly, they're crying. Exactly. Even Vedas. Why did I write Vedas? Kya kiya kya maine? I'm not feeling satisfied. Nonsense I've done. Narad Muni comes. And what does he tell? He doesn't come and hug you. Or don't worry, you have done great. Actually, what you did is great. Don't feel like it. He doesn't tell all that. So Vedas is crying that I have done useless work. And he comes and says, yes, you have done useless work. It's like making him cry more. or Same thing here also. Yudhishthira is crying that, oh, what is the use of, what wrong did I do? How can I take care of my uncle and my aunt who have left? How can I take care of my other uncle, Vidura, who was left? And then Narad Muni comes and says, you can't even take care of yourself. Your body is not in your control. Your thoughts are not in your control. Your senses are completely pushed by the modes of material nature. What do you think you can take care of others? That is the word. Tera damag ek jagah pe nahi hai. A living entity. Your mind is not in a single place. Your senses are not in your control. Tamogun aa gaya bhag gaya. Satogun aa gaya bhag gaya. Your senses are completely allured by the modes. Your body is eternal time. Shri Krishna is wiping off your body every single second. Cells are dying. You're dying. So he says, hey Yudhishthira, why are you thinking that you can take care of your uncle? You cannot take care of your uncle. Because nobody can take care of themselves. In this material world, people are all dependent on the mercy of Krishna. Where is the point of you thinking that you will take care of your uncle? Don't speak like an ignorant person. Intelligent person knows that whatever is happening to anybody is happening by 1 minute. I have to take this call. I'm so sorry. 1 minute. Hare Krishna. I'm so sorry. It was a call from the Vaishnav Seva Kunj. So I can't say no. Whatever. So today actually, His Grace Amal Mahaprabhu He's a very nice devotee. He lives in Kondapur. And there is a nice satsang he conducts in Kondapur. It's a new batch of devotees. He's inspiring. So he's taking his entire satsang to VSK. They're spending a whole day today there, serving the cows, nicely hearing lectures. Right? He recently released his book, Parenting Teenagers. If you have seen the ad. Anyway, so where was I? So Narad Muni is telling Yudhishthir, तो खुद का ख्याल नहीं रख सकता तो किस का ख्याल रखेगा? Right? You can't take care of yourself. And actually, he's revealing a very important thing here, Trojan Mathis. So if somebody is going through whatever that they're going through in life, we should help them, but don't think that you're the one who is helping. You're only requesting God that can I help him? Because ultimately God is the one who can help anybody. Right? And if somebody is going through something, it's planned by God, it's sanctioned by God. That's what Narad Muni tells Yudhishthir. Yudhishthir, don't you know it is sanctioned by God that he has to go? Don't you know? Why are you lamenting? At one side you are telling Krishna is in charge of everything. Other side you are lamenting. This is ignorance. Lamenting, thinking that I can protect others, I have not protected them, is ignorance. He says, Narad Muni says, a householder who thinks he is taking care of his wife, he is taking care of his children, is ignorant. He's a fool. And you can't take care of yourself. Huh? Can you take care of your desires, Provision Mathis? Can you take care of your desires? Can you tell that tomorrow I will not desire these things? Huh? No. We might tell, okay, I'm going to leave my family, I'll go to Himalayas. And on the way, you will see one Audi convertible coming. Arey, how nice, new model. Huh? हो गया खत्म. You will take birth in that Audi showroom. पोछते रहोगे Audi को. Your desires are not in your control. Because your senses are not in your control. Right? So Narad Muni says that Yudhishthir, don't lament. Let them go. They have gone. They have done their part. It's a good thing that they have gone. And they are at a place called what is that place? Where Mother Ganga splits into seven flows, 7 streams. For all the Sapta Rishis, 7 streams, 7 Rishis, 7 streams it splits. So there is a place at that junction where the split happens. It's in the southern part of Himalayas. So Narad Muni says that don't worry, Yudhishthir, they have gone there. They are under the shelter of great rishis. Right? So don't worry. And your uncle is nicely trained by Vidura philosophically. And Dhritarashtra is a very strong person. He's not like a physically very strong person. He might be blind, but he's a Kshatriya. And he says, he's been taught Ashtanga Yoga. So he's only taking water now. He's only taking water. He's not eating anything. And through that, he is able to control his senses. He says, by only taking water, he is able to control his senses. He could gain control over his senses. Basically, when we eat grain, it increases your power of your senses. It increases. You see, on the days of Upavas, when we do Upavas, actually our chanting is also good that day. Because your mind is not running here and there. But we need grain. Grain is like sustenance, right? Body sustenance. The more you eat, it produces semen. It puts pressure on the genitals, right? Puts pressure on your belly. Gives taste to your tongue, right? So your jivha, basically your tongue, belly, genitals, everything is affected when you eat grains. So Dhritarashtra, at the end of his life, did not eat anything. He just drank water. And Narad Muni says that in the next 5 days, he's going to leave his body. He also tells that when he's going to leave his body, also Narad Muni tells. He's a pure devotee, he knows everything. Right? Lord Narayan sits in his heart, revealing everything to Narad Muni. So he says, Yudhishthira, don't worry. Your uncle is safe. They all have gone. They are in southern part of Himalayas, in this particular ashram. And don't worry, in 5 days, he will leave his body. He's getting prepared for that. And once he leaves his body, his soul will not just go to Mahatattva, it will actually transcend it, because he's got an instruction from a pure devotee, and Lord Krishna will take care. They'll go to the eternal abode. And how will he leave his body? He will self-immolate himself. Meaning, actually the yogis in the past, with purity, by chanting the names, mantras, they would just burn their body by themselves. Bhasmo. The entire body becomes like ashes. So it'll self, like Sati, right? That's what she did. She got fire from inside. It's not like Sati put out kerosene oil and get one matchstick and said, "Hey Daksha, I am dying." No, she just sat. She just meditated. The fire came out. Right? Even us, we have fire in our body. Jataragni. Even right now, we have the fire. So yogis can increase that intensity of fire and burn their entire body. So that's what Dhritarashtra did. And Gandhari entered that fire. That I'll be with my husband in his spiritual journey. So she was very surrendered, most chaste Shiva Bhaktini, and also a devotee of Lord Krishna. She entered into the fire of Dhritarashtra and she left. Narad Muni says he is going to do this, and they will cross the Mahatattva and go back to Krishna. So then Yudhishthira Maharaj is instructed, now you take care of the kingdom, don't worry. People who are supposed to leave have left. Right? There was a graceful departure of Dhritarashtra after his long tenure as a representative king. Dhritarashtra was never coronated king. There is a difference between coronated king and representative king. Pattabhishekam happens for a coronated king, meaning he is made all the, Abhishekam happens just like a DT Abhishekam. There is a whole procedure before a king is given the throne. Pandu it happened, but Dhritarashtra did not happen. Dhritarashtra just came and took over the post. That's all. He was not coronated as a king. So after a long life as a representative king, he finally left, and he retired. He retired, short retirement, and he went back to Krishna. So all of us devotees also, somewhere we have to take a lesson that we have to retire. Plan your retirement. Plan your retirement. Retirement means what? You don't have to go to southern Himalayas. That's not the point. And you don't have to create a farmhouse to go and retire. You don't need to. Now people will start, okay, Prabhuji, I have to retire, so I have to earn more to buy land. Fir chakkar mein. Don't have to do anything. In Kali Yuga, going to forest and all is not possible. What you have to do, Prabhuji and Matajis, is work for free for Prabhupada. That is retirement. Prabhupada kosam okka dabbu ashinchakunta pani cheyandi. That is retirement. Right? Use your talent, become a manager in ISKCON temple, become a book distributor. It's our family business, right? Book distribution. Take the books, go, sell and come back. Right? So become a book distributor, become a fund collector, go inspire people to give donations for the temple, perform Go Seva, go to villages, preach. Or if someone is preaching, support the preacher. You know how to cook. You know how to manage cooking, set up a big kitchen, right? So many things you can do innovatively. Kitna bada list hai? So many things you can do. Most important, chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Right? Nice to chant and be happy. That is retirement. Work for Krishna. Work for Guru. You don't need any new instruction from Guru. You don't need any new instruction. Instruction is already given. Na? What is the instruction that Guru has given? Chant attentively. Serve in the mode of kya? Serve in the mode of honor. What is the
Sanadas.
Sanadas. Serve in the mode of servant. Right? These are two instructions. और किसी को कुछ special instruction नहीं मिलने वाला है. Don't think that, oh, Prabhuji, I will go to my Guru. I will go to him and ask, give me an instruction. Like Prabhupada got instruction on Ulta Danga Junction. You tell me the instruction. कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला है. Instruction is already given to all of us. Whether you are initiated or not initiated doesn't matter. A person is initiated when he follows the instruction. क्या बोला मैंने? I heard this from my seniors. He said a person is initiated when he follows the instruction of his Guru. There is no meaning of initiation when you have no time to follow the instruction of your Guru. Simple. There is no meaning. Gaur Sundar Das, Vrindavan Das, Mathura Das, Mayapur Das, Gaur Mohan Das, Lilananda Das. ये पूरे नाम है. The names given at the time of initiation. But if Lilananda Das doesn't serve his Guru as per his instruction, then I'm not initiated. Not as simple as it. I'm not initiated. Initiation is not a ritual कि ये initiate हो गया तो बस अभी इसका टिकट हो गया. बस में बैठेगा. कोई निकालेगा नहीं बस में से. हाँ? Initiation ले लिया बस में बैठेगा. No, ऐसा नहीं होता है. ऐसा नहीं होता है. It's not. And as long as you're following the instruction of your Guru, you're initiated. Even though you're not formally initiated, you're still initiated. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Abhay Charan Babu was serving Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur for more than 13 years, if I'm right. 11 or 13, I forgot, 11 or 13. Before getting initiated. He was raising funds for Gaudiya Math. He was writing articles. He was doing so many services. Then he got initiated. Then Prabhupada got initiated. And he got double initiated at once. Harinam Diksha and also Brahman Diksha. Guru was so pleased. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati would never give both the Dikshas at a time. But he gave it to Abhay Charan Prabhu. A Grahastha, simple Grahastha, running a pharmacy. Right? So, we have to all plan our retirement provision, Mataji's. This Bhagavatam in your house is Swayam Vidura speaking to us. That Bhaiya retire, planning karo, before you are embarrassed. Before your daughter-in-law shouts at you, before your son-in-law shouts at you, before your own children, go and tell your daughter-in-law and mother-in-law and son-in-law, adjust ho jana, Buddha marega thoda. Adjust ho. Just wait for some time, the fellow will die. Get out of that house. समझ गया ना क्या करना है? क्या प्रभु जी माता जी? You want to see that day? देखना है क्या? Your son will go. నీ కొడుకు నా ముద్దుల కొడుకు. నా ముద్దుల కొడుకు. నీ ముద్దుల కొడుకు పోయి నీ కొడుకు ఏం చెప్తాడు? ఏం చెప్తాడు? కొన్ని రోజులు ఆగు, ముసలోడు దస్తాడు. కొన్ని రోజులు ఓకే పట్టు. ఆ రోజు చూడాలన్నదా? ఆ రోజు చూడాలని ఉంటే ఇంట్లో పడి ఉండండి. ఒక కుక్కలాగా ప్రాపర్టీలు కాపాడండి. कुत्ते की तरह प्रॉपर्टीज को क्या बोलते हैं हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं
చాయిస్ ఏ ఉంది ప్రభుజీ ఓల్డ్ అయిపోయి వాళ్ళ మీద డిపెండెంట్ అయితే ఇంకేం చేయగలం ప్రభుజీ
ఆ స్టేజ్ వచ్చేలోగా ఇల్లు వదిలేసాం ఇల్లు వదిలేసాడు. వద్దు, ఆ ఇల్లు ఆ కంఫర్ట్స్ మనకు చాలా బాధ కలిగిస్తే తర్వాత. ప్రభు, just imagine somebody is abusing you and you don't have the strength to walk out. Of course, when the age increases a point where you need support, you will get support. Krishna will provide that. Krishna will take care. Your children will also take care. You can, at that time you can come back, but that time your children will take care. No worries. But lead a graceful life, not like Dhritarashtra. Look at Dhritarashtra. We are all little Dhritarashtra's. It's a request coming from Srimad Bhagavatam that be prepared to leave. Okay, so I'll end it here. It's 8:30. Today we have, I'll tell you a beautiful thing. See this person. There is one new devotee in Avatar, Arvind Prabhu and Padma Mataji. Most of you know them. You have seen them. So he got so inspired. He came to VSK couple of years back when he was introduced to KC. Then immediately after that, he bought a land near small land, not a big land, near Chilkur Balaji, and he constructed an ashram. And today is the opening of the ashram. Today is calling all the devotees. He said, Prabhu, that place should be used only for bhajan, not for any sense gratification. So it's like it's a big hall and one bathroom and one small kitchen and a big courtyard. So any devotee can go live there. Devotees can do some festivals there. All facilities he has created. So he's calling there. So he has made his retirement plan. Right? Maybe he'll serve in Chilkur Balaji temple, living close. It's very close from there. Something, get out of that place. Get out of that comfortable houses that we are used to. This neck support. This neck support. Comfort. We should not be attached to this comfort. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, if you are attached to these comforts, then your exit will be very painful. Very painful. Better stay, better train ourselves to become a little closer to simple life. Sleeping on the floor, eating one meal a day, not eating palatable dishes. Okay? Difficult in ISKCON, not eating palatable dishes. Hare Krishna. But still, we have to, okay, one day in a week, we are all meeting in Satsang. Remaining 6 days, keep it simple. Right? So, any thoughts, questions? Somebody realized, not yet retired, you can see this wallpaper behind. My wife selected this wallpaper. Still living in a luxury house, speaking about renunciation. Yeah, Lalit Mantu. So Lalit Mantu visited my house, my new house, and he says that's a devotee, right? Devotee immediately sees. Immediately told Prabhu, be careful with that opulence. He told that. Prabhu, be careful with that opulence. Because he knows, right? When devotee can see that opulence is dangerous for spiritual life. Very dangerous. Yeah. So I'm done. Any thoughts, questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Was today's class useful?
Very useful, Prabhuji.
How was it useful?
అందరం కొంచెం ధృతరాష్ట్ర టైప్ లోనే ఉన్నాం కదా, ఇంకా రిటైర్ అయిపోయి కూడా ఇంకా రిటైర్ అవ్వనట్టు ఉంటున్నాం. అటాచ్మెంట్ వదలటం లేదండి. ఎలాగైనా మనవల దగ్గర ఉంటే బాగుంటుంది అని అనిపిస్తూ ఉంటుంది విలేజ్ లో ఉన్నా.
7th canto ఒక వర్స్ ఉంటుంది, మర్చిపోయాను. నేర్చుకున్నా, ఎప్పుడు ట్రై చేసినా సగం నేర్చుకుంటా. దాంట్లో ప్రహ్లాదుడు చెప్తాడు that broken words of small children is the biggest form of Maya. Broken words of small children. How you get attracted to small children? లైక్ గురుజీ చెప్తారండి, అలిబోల్ అలిబోల్ అలిబోల్, ఆ సప్పుడే పెద్ద మాయ అంటే. అదే గుర్తుకుండిపోతుంది జీవితాంతం. చిల్డ్రన్ రిమెంబర్, పేరెంట్స్ రిమెంబర్ దర్ చిల్డ్రన్, మై చైల్డ్ యూస్ టు స్పీక్ లైక్ దిస్, మై చైల్డ్ యూస్ టు, ఎట్లా చెప్పేవాడు చిన్నప్పుడు, ఎట్లా చెప్పాడు మనోడు, ఎట్లా చెప్పాడు, మర్చిపోం అది మర్చిపోం, అది అదంత అటాచ్మెంట్, అదే మాయ. రేపటి తిడుతుంటే కూడా అదే వినబడుతుంది. చిన్నప్పుడు అలిబోల్ అలిబోల్ అంటాడు, అది వినబడుతుంది. పెద్దగా అయిన తర్వాత ఇంకా సావేంద్ర ముసలోడు అంటే కూడా అది వినబడదు, అదే వినబడదు. అలిబోల్ అలిబోల్ వినబడుతుంది. అదే నిజం, అదే మాయ.
కానీ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసి ఎలాగైనా డిటాచ్మెంట్ తెచ్చుకోవాలండి.
మాతాజీ, మనందరం కూడా భారం కాబోతున్నాం. భారమై అవమానం భరించే లోపట కృష్ణుడు సర్వీస్ చేసి, ప్రభుపాద సర్వీస్ చేసి వెళ్ళిపోవటం అంత ఉత్తమం ఏమీ లేదు.
కొన్ని అడుగులు వేయడానికి ప్రయత్నిస్తున్నాం, ఇందులో సక్సెస్ అవ్వాలని మీరు కూడా ప్రే చేయండి.
వేరే అందరు చేస్తున్నారు, మన గ్రూప్ లో చాలా మంది చేస్తున్నారు, సర్వీస్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఏదో ఒకటి ఇచ్చిపోండి, ప్రభుపాదకి ఏదో ఇచ్చిపోండి, అన్ని పెట్టుకోకండి. ఇక్కడ మొత్తం పిల్లలకి పెట్టుకోకండి. అలాంటి ఉద్దేశం పెట్టుకుంటే ఏమైందంటే, when you have a goal that you want to give something to Prabhupada before you leave, you will focus only on that giving thing, or not on the other things. You know what I'm saying? ఏదైతే తీయదలుచుకున్న దాని మీద బాగా ఫోకస్ పెడతారు. శేష జీవితం దాని మీద ఫోకస్ పెడతారు. చిన్నదైనా, వాట్ ఎవర్ లిటిల్ యూ వాంట్ టు గివ్, యూ వాంట్ లిటిల్ బిఫోర్ డైయింగ్ గివ్ ఏ కార్ టు, గివ్ ఏ వ్యాన్ టు ఇస్కాన్ టెంపుల్ ఫర్ బుక్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్. వేగన ముందే తెచ్చుకో. ఎన్నో కొన్నావు, కార్లు, బైకులు, మోటార్ సైకిల్ అన్ని కొన్నావు నీ జీవితంలో, ఎంజాయ్ చేసినావు, పిల్లలకు కూడా ఇచ్చినావు. ఒక వ్యాన్ ఇచ్చుకో ఇస్కాన్ టెంపుల్. లేకపోతే ఒక ఊర్లో భౌతికతలు ఇచ్చిపో. ఊరంతా నా తరఫున భౌతికతలు ఇచ్చిపో. అంటే మనం బతకడానికి, మనం ఫర్ అస్ టు హ్యావ్ టేకెన్ బర్త్, దర్ షుడ్ బి సంథింగ్ వీఆర్ గివింగ్ బ్యాక్, సంథింగ్ టాంజిబుల్ వీఆర్ గివింగ్ బ్యాక్. We might have 5 plots, 5 plots, 5 places. Give 1 plot to Krishna. Kya ja raha hai? Give it. For there, build a Krishna temple. Build a Krishna temple, or contribute in development of a temple. Nicely, not like ఈ బిల్ స్పాన్సర్ చేసిన, ఈ తలుపు స్పాన్సర్. Do some sizable thing. And I'll tell you, when you do that, Prabhuji, your death will become peaceful. మీ చావు చాలా పీస్ఫుల్ అయిపోతుంది. ఎందుకంటే మీ ఫోకస్ అంతా దాని మీద ఉంటుంది. See, how come Ananta Padmanabha Swami temple has so many properties in Tamil Nadu? All these temples, they have billions of properties. ఎవరు ఇచ్చారు ఈ ప్రాపర్టీస్ అంతా? భక్తులు ఇచ్చారు టెంపుల్ కి. పోయిన ముందు పిల్లలకి ఇచ్చారు, టెంపుల్ కి ఇచ్చారు. మన బాధ్యత అది. గృహస్థలు అయితే మనం చాలా బిగుసుకొని చచ్చిపోతాం. అన్ని సంతానానికి పెట్టాలి, అన్ని నా కొడుకు ఫ్లాట్, నా బిడ్డకి ల్యాండ్, నా ఇది అని పెట్టుకుని ఏమొస్తుంది? అట్లా చస్తే కృష్ణుడు కనబడతాడా? చెప్పండి. ఎటువంటి రినౌన్సియేషన్ లేకుండా అన్ని పెట్టుకొని, అన్ని కుటుంబం దగ్గర పెట్టుకొని, ఈ పాడుపడ్డ బాడీ మాత్రం తీసుకో కృష్ణ చేతులు లేపితే ఏమంటాడు కృష్ణుడు? దరిద్రుడా, నీకు ఇంత ఇచ్చాను, ఒకటన్నా మనస్ఫూర్తిగా ఇచ్చేవారు నాకు. Build a temple in your village, or revive a temple. Revival of temple is also being done now. Lot of projects are there. You can do something tangible. Do something tangible, and when you decide to do something tangible, that becomes your retirement. Adi retirement. When you decide to do something tangible. Any thoughts, Hare Krishna? We'll wrap up.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, who's speaking?
This is Lalit Mohan Das, Prabhuji.
Lalit Mohan Prabhu.
Prabhuji, when we become old, all our talents will become waned away, Prabhuji. We will plan during our ages, that youths, that let me contribute in this way to Prabhupada after me retiring and all. But I have seen practically, Prabhuji, many people, they lose all their talents, Prabhuji. after crossing 50 or 45. I've seen this actually. Many people. So now all the life we were actually planning to serve Prabhupada in the talent which we have, but that itself has gone away, faded away after 50. So how to come across this this problem, like we have some talent but we went it out and we didn't plan for anything else. So how to overcome that? What is a psychological and what is a element problem?
You have to I know what can I tell you. You are going back to village. Lalit Mohan Prabhu is going back to his village. From Indigo he is going to go. So he is going back to his village and is planning to preach there, planning to lead a simple life. He has got a wonderful wife who is supporting that transition to go back to village. So we all have to do that in a smaller or bigger way. Again, Prabhuji, simple life doesn't mean that you have to lead a poverty-driven life or life with less facilities. It's all about how much we are serving Prabhupada, right? So Prabhuji spoke about how we are using our talents. Using your talent, use your talents, na? Go preach in colleges. See, some of us here are senior managers. Huh? You earned a lot of money, right? You earned a lot of money. You spent also a lot of money, unfortunately. You're still spending. Now you can curb your spending. Na? If you have your own house, curb your spending. Can I lead a life 50,000 rupees a month? Yes, I can lead. Easily I can lead. I can easily lead. If I have my own house, 50,000 rupees a month, I can nicely lead. Because anyway, we can only eat one meal properly in a day after age. Remaining meals have to be very light, right? And just put your children into some education system and plan for them to settle down and start developing that urge to serve, right? From now itself, you can't say that after retirement I'll start serving. Like Lalit Prabhu said, after certain age, your talents are gone. Now itself you start that. Or develop some project for Krishna. It's in your hands. It's in your hands. Small project, you can start. Recently, one person came to me and he was saying there is 1 acre land in Gachibowli beside Avatar. They are ready to give for Krishna. Right? So I need to have a meeting. Say, how can we convert that to Discord temple? If it is possible, I don't know. They are actually saying your devotees can do something. It might become a project. Right? We have to start. The point is we have to start. Just start. Wherever we are, whichever situation we are, don't think that I'll start later. Karunga main. Start in a small way. Define a project in a certain time. Use your talents. Krishna given talents. And we'll get somewhere. I have a desire. Personally, I'm sharing. I want to create a nice youth preaching outreach center. Where people can go there nicely, live in a nature-driven place, and they can be preached in that place with some good facility. So I have a desire. I don't know. Desire is there. Who will fulfill? I don't know. But something. Some disturbance will create on the planet before we go. Don't worry. Hare Krishna. I don't know. I did not answer your question, Lalit Mohan Prabhu. I don't have that answer.
Prabhuji, I was just reflecting on Lalit Mohan Prabhu's question. Maybe to the extent possible, we have to serve while our body and everything cooperates. And maybe, let's say at 60 or 70, depends upon whichever age, when the cooperation starts coming down, maybe from that time, maybe focus more on our internal sadhana and chanting. Until then, do as much as possible where we can serve physically. Just a reflection, Prabhu.
Yes, that's true. In fact, I'll send a lecture of His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj. He spoke exactly on this topic. It's an amazing lecture in Chopati he gave. Right? He said, don't go to ISKCON temple at age and say, because you'll become burden on the temple. He said, plan your life in such a way, go at 50 to start taking some active projects and then retire soon, so that in a sound body you should be able to contribute to the temple. It's a missionary activity, Prabhuji. Actually, temple is not a place for doing bhajan only. Bhajan means a missionary activity. And ISKCON is a missionary movement. We will not keep quiet saying, okay, I've done my part, temple get now, I pay. No. So we have to plan. We have to get out of this jigsaw. And not everybody can do everything, no? So Satya Prabhu, you are so talented, nicely, you can talk so nicely, you can present things so nicely. Why don't you take up half of Hyderabad colleges? And then
you guide me, Prabhu. You guide me, I will try.
What is it to guide, bro? You go. Go there. Put your profile and tell I'm here to guide. One lecture a week I'll give in this college. Yeah, so I have 5 colleges, 5 days, Monday to Friday. Saturday, day for relaxation. Sunday is day for our outreach. We all meeting together like this. Ho gaya life work. I have 2 sons. Now itself I'm attracting them to get married soon. Jaldi shadi kar lo. Shadi kar lega, automatically that other partner will come and life settle. We have 1 daughter. Somebody has 2 daughters. I don't know. Praveen Prabhu has 3 children. He has to plan more.
Prabhuji, one question I have, Prabhuji.
Sorry.
I mean, how do we practice? అంటే ఎట్లా చెప్పాలంటే సంసారంలో ఉంటూనే ఇందాక మీరు you are quoting that example of the Prahlads which talks about I was just reading that sloka while you were explaining. I was just Google and reading. It talks about when you have such a beautiful, so serving, so caring wife, how you can get detached. When you have such a wonderful, pleasant children, how you can get detached. That's what it's talking about. So Prabhuji, what is the Shastric advice, Prabhuji? Ante samsaramlo untune and how to stay detached and still focus. How should we practice that?
Prabhuji, if the wife is cooperating, in Krishna consciousness, there is no need to leave the house. There is no need to worry. And wife is cooperating, meaning both of you are able to serve. So, like you both are going for book distribution these days. And I was so happy to hear you yesterday. That's good. That's all is needed. Spiritual life ante edo chala kastamaina panlu chese avasaram ledhu. Kalichi Krishnudiki serve cheyalante. When the wife is cooperating. But if the wife is not cooperating, then your spiritual advancement will be very fast. Right? If you get a wife who humiliates you every day, who makes you jump from balcony every day, who makes you feel, why am I existing? Who makes you feel, in em papam chesanu. You should wash the feet of that wife because she'll be the reason for your liberation. She's Vidura in your life. But unfortunately, I didn't get that kind of wife. So I have to struggle to make advancement in spiritual life. But it's okay. Cooperating wife is very good. And we all are doing, Prabhuji. Actually, this satsang is very nice. We all are doing our part. Little by little, we are. It's better to stay attached and serve Krishna. That is a goal. Serving Krishna is a goal. As long as service is happening, we should not worry about a lot of other things. And retirement doesn't mean, as I said, going to a farmhouse. Retirement can be living in, forgot your flat number, 1202 Green Grace, A block, and serving Krishna. And serving Krishna in a very, very unique way. Yeah. And Prabhuji, even I am a struggling grahastha. I can't really speak more than what I do. But one thing I'll say that we all are multi-talented. Most of us are very well educated also. And that is all given by Krishna. Right? So we can do more. Like recently, Subbarao Prabhu's friend, what is his name? Jagdish Prabhu. Right? Look at what he's doing. He is going and reviving and helping hundreds of villages in the interior jungles, right? And now he's distributing Bhagavad Gita. Their conversion is going on rampantly. They are paying money and converting people into Christians. And they are going and distributing Bhagavad Gita, and they are doing so much philanthropic work there. We all can also do our part. If we can't go there and do, we can contribute for such thing. That is also service. That is also service. Like Prabhupada told his disciples, go make some money. We have to run the temple. Go make some money. So we can make money, no problem. And give it. Don't keep that money. Don't keep that money. That is my money. Mera money. It will save me. It will save me. Nothing will save you, Prabhuji. Nothing will save except Krishna. Nothing will save you. Go and see in the ICU of Care Hospital. You'll know who is saving whom. Right? Neuro ICU. I was recently there. Rich people. Some people are very rich, stinkingly rich. They can't even lift their hand. They can't even lift their legs. They can't even move any part of their body. Who is going to save them? Money will save them. Their children will save them. Only Krishna will save them. So start taking up services, whatever that we have, and always encourage each other. Encourage each other. That's another big service. That never speak anything that will discourage anybody. Speak only the things that will encourage. You want to do this? Like recently, one good example is Prasad Prabhu, right? Prasad Prabhu and Mataji. You know what are they doing, right? You all know what they're doing? Anybody? I'm so happy. In Gachibowli, they are doing in a Ramalayam temple. They're reading Bhagavatam regularly. And so many people are attracted. And on Gita Jayanti, Prabhuji told he's going to make everybody read all the shlokas and translations. So this is a beginning. So this is a good beginning, right? Beginning and alliance with the temple and alliance with people who are coming to the temple, good community, Shastram Chadavatam. It's a good thing. He's a senior manager in Broadridge Consulting. I heard more than 100 people report to him. Right?
200, Broji.
More than 200 people. Who is that?
Satyadev. Yeah, Satyadev Prabhu.
Satyadev Prabhu also knows, right?
He's the vice president.
He's a vice president in Broadridge Consulting, right? And what is he doing when he has time? He's going and sitting and reading Bhagavatam. Someday he might even start teaching. We all can. We all can. Take up some project on our own. Nobody needs to give project. Do something. Create some disturbance in your area. That is the point.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, Suma Mataji, warrior Mataji, multi-talented. How many of you feel that Suma Mataji is a great leader?
I don't even want to know.
Say Lord Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Prabhuji, that's not what I wanted, Prabhuji. First of all, Prabhuji, my English got a facelift today. Insurmountable eternal time imperceptibly overcomes. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Prabhuji. This is amazing. I didn't even know that you could. I didn't know that those words existed, and I didn't know that you could use it in such an effective manner. So, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. On the time to serve, and I had a comment, Prabhuji. First of all, there is a time to serve, like how Lalit Mohan Prabhuji said. Over the time, our talents also diminish, and our ability to influence people, or it's not just like materialistically influencing, helping people to take to Krishna consciousness. That ability also will take a toll as the age progresses, and there is a time to be served also, Prabhuji, I feel. Even clock is ticking on either side, on the preacher side, on the giver's side, as well as the taker's side. Clock is ticking. And in the right time, if somebody doesn't get an opportunity to be preached, it's not going to work. And even simple, Prabhuji, my mother, when we were in US, she used to say that if you want to come back to India, I mean, you don't have to come back when I'm like 80 plus and can't even see or can't even walk. You don't have to serve me at that age, because I don't even know what you're doing, what you're not doing. The best thing is to serve when they are able to see that we are serving. And sometimes even that is enough to, actually not sometimes, all the time, that is enough to melt the hearts. You keep saying, Prabhuji, that people don't come for philosophy. People don't come to hear the philosophy. People come to see the loving exchanges that people in the congregation are having. That's what, brings them there. So I think clock is ticking on either side, Prabhuji, and there is a time for everything. And we miss that time. It is going to be 100 times harder than what it would be if we were to do the same thing at the right time. So yeah, that's that I just wanted to share, Prabhuji, that whenever I get frustrated, that not just in book distribution or anything, we were a total. I was a total debacle in book distribution in Madhapur, Prabhuji. Nobody took from me, actually. I just kept on singing loudly so that at least people hear those words and just take. But at the end, I thought that no amount of effort will go waste. Prabhupada will make sure that it doesn't go waste, and I just trust that this thing works. His instructions work, his process works, everything works, and it over the time. It may not work at a point in time, but it will work over the time, and we'll be able to look back and see what we have done, hopefully. That's what I think.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, we have to, don't worry about who is not taking from you. Krishna doesn't want ordinary people to take book from you. He wants some special people to take books from you. That first book, Mataji, remember, I'm telling you, Mataji, I'm not a book distributor myself. I've struggled all my life every time. But the first book that goes is the book that changes the day. How many felt like that? Tell me. The first book.
See, I'm telling you, I felt so happy that day, after 3 hours, the last minute, 2 hours, 59 minutes, that Kulfi vendor took the Krishna book, Prabhuji. I was so happy. That's the happiest moment in my life.
Satya Prabhu, you want to share the first book?
No, Satya Prabhu. Is there Satya Prabhu, right?
Yeah. Or anybody who did the first book.
First book experience.
Sirisha Raju Sirisha Prabhuji did a lot of book distribution, Prabhuji. Somehow she was able to convince close to 20 books.
See, we might be something materially, right? I mean, we would be a director, we might be a vice president, we might be respected in our office, right? And you take that book of Prabhupada and you go and stand on the street and you say that I'm here to distribute, right? And nobody takes it. How many of you felt you should introduce yourself?
Prabhuji, people are running away from me as if I'm an untouchable.
How many of you felt that? నువ్వు ఆగరా నా ఇంట్రొడక్షన్ చెప్తే ఎవరు అనుకుంటున్నారా నేను ఇక్కడ చదివిన అనుకుంటున్నారా నా కాలేజ్ ఏంది అనుకుంటున్నారా నేను ఎక్కడ ఉంటున్నా గచ్చిబౌలిలో ఉంటున్నా 3 బెడ్రూమ్ అపార్ట్మెంట్ తెలుసా నేను నా లెవెల్ ఏంటో తెలుసా నీకు తీసుకో భగవద్గీత ఇట్లా ఎంతమంది చెప్పుతుంది మనం ఏంటో కృష్ణుడు అప్పుడు చూపిస్తాడు మన వాల్యూ రైట్ నిమిత్త మాత్రం కృష్ణుడు పర్మిషన్ ఇవ్వకపోతే మనం ఏం సర్వీస్ చేయలేం we can't do any service to Krishna if Krishna doesn't permit.
Prabhuji, yesterday coincidentally there are many people who I mean, yesterday was most of the people, 90% of the people were respectful, Prabhuji, near the Karachi bakery. Even if they don't want, also they were polite. Just one or two people said like this, we don't need it. Don't even come and talk to me like that, by waving their hands. But 90% of the people are respectful even when they say they don't need it. And many people said, actually, we have these books at home. Some of it could be a standard answer of saying no. But we also found some, at least 4 or 5 families who said, we are already connected to ISKCON. We have this Krishna book at home. We have this Bhagavad Gita at home. And there was one writer yesterday, I liked him. He said, I have several Bhagavad Gitas at home. Then I asked him, then I tried to explain him that why Bhagavad Gita as it is the best one, because it gives the right interpretation and right understanding from Krishna. So he never knew that one. No, he said, as a writer, I'm forced because I read different Gitas and try to connect. I said, maybe when you are writing to public, you may connect to the 10 different books, but for your own understanding, only follow this book. That's what I told him. He said, okay, thank you.
Satya Prabhu, you're getting better at it day by day, and you're getting a hang of it. I can see that.
And let us interpret this in a little different way. Satya Prabhu, if you just allow me.
Please.
Why do you think you're getting very respectful people around you?
Maybe Krishna is being merciful.
Or Krishna is trying to, safeguard the people who come around you. If they come and humiliate, you might beat them. I don't know. or you're not ready for that kind of purification. It might be also like that, right? There are different angles of looking at it. Yeah. So as you advance more in book distribution, you will find more insulting people coming, which means purification has started. so it is in different ways. Actually, people who come for taking books, from us, they are all being sent by Krishna. Great distributor told. And according to our capacity to handle, Krishna sends an encouraging person and he says, okay, take this book. Paramatma inside them is telling them, go take this book. Like that.
Yesterday was one.
Joking,
No, Prabhu, you are right. Yesterday there was one lady who is very young, completely posh dressed. I mean, almost like ready to go to a pub, kind of a heavily dressed girl with a lot of stuff. So I really wanted to give a book to her, and I spoke to her. After 2-3 weeks, she was like saying no, kind of thing. I said, please. Then finally she took one Gita from me.
Really?
Yeah, she took one Gita from me. Then her boyfriend, who said I will never read any books, he said he was also trying to escape, but I caught hold of him. And after seeing all other books, he was continuously trying to deny, I won't take any books, I won't read at all. Then I said, okay, don't read, but take this book and look at it every day. And then I gave him one Krishna book. He also took that book, both boyfriend and yeah.
You're getting a pro. I told you, right? You're getting a
pro. No. It was just a good experience.
So I should change what I told sometime back. Krishna is sending the toughest people to you, and you're making it happen.
Nothing like that, Prabhu. Just trying. I think this is good, Prabhuji. I don't know whether I can take up that core insult. Maybe immediately something will come out from me. Hare
Krishna. So Shilpa Mataji.
That plot sale guy was interviewing me yesterday. There was one guy who has papers for the Madhapur. Somewhere he sells the plots in Shadnagar or something, 200 yards plots. So he was coming to me, and yesterday whole evening 2 hours he was looking at me, what we are doing, why we are doing, how we are doing. So he was doing my interview. Whenever there is a 1 minute gap, he was coming and doing my interview. You sell every day. Where do you all sell? What will you do? So curious.
Taking tips from you, Prabhu.
Maybe. Prabhuji, the last bit I will tell you, Prabhuji. But
please.
After 1.5 hour 2 hours of our cell, finally the watchman came and asked, can I also read these books? Can I understand? I said, yes, you can understand. But he's from Bihar or somebody. I told him, I will give you Hindi book. Right now, I did not bring Hindi books. Tomorrow, I'll give you Hindi book. You can read. He said, I can't pay that much money. I said, don't worry. I'll give you free. You please read, but only if you promise me that if you read every day 2-3 pages, I will give you a free book. He said, I will promise you I'll read. I said, I'll give you tomorrow Hindi Bhagavad Gita free of cost.
Yeah.
So he was looking forward.
We should give for especially watchmen and drivers and these people. We should give free.
Yeah.
We should give free. If they're interested, we should give free.
Yes.
but never give free to people who are already working and they have money, they are wearing good clothes. Students also don't give free.
Yeah.
Because Indian mentality is they negotiate, they try to make a fool out of us, you know.
Correct.
Yeah, never give it free.
One last observation, Prabhuji. I felt the most humble buyers are the workers, Prabhuji. The people who are working in that Apollo pharmacy and Karachi bakery, that workers, they came and bought the Telugu book set of 100 rupees and one English book set of 100 rupees. I felt they really came for that small book set. We made the 3 books into with rubber band. We paint like a small set. We felt that among all the people, they were the humble buyers. They spent 15 minutes, looked at different books. They were checking their pockets if they have money or not. Somehow went back and forth, but they bought it. That was very touching, Prabhuji.
You got the taste of book distribution, brother.
బైబిల్ ఇస్తున్నారు మీరు ఎందుకు అమ్ముతున్నారు ఇంకొక అడిగారు నాకు అర్థం కాలేదు.
Okay, you should have given it to him. Hare Krishna. Other day, one guy, sorry, I think we'll stop. Hare Krishna.
No, wait, last one.
The other day, one guy picked up an argument with Mahesh Prabhu near Inorbit Mall.
Sorry, yes, Prabhu, sorry.
No, near Inorbit Mall, other day, one guy picked up argument with Mahesh Prabhu. He's a Muslim auto guy. And he said, we don't distribute Qurans on the road. Why are you doing it? So he was just doing like that. And then Mahesh Prabhu was, I think he suddenly got little anxious for his questioning. Then I kind of pacified. I told him, Abhi, when you have time, Qurans leke aa jaiye, you also distribute it. It will be nice. I told him, then he calmed down.
People commit different nonsense things.
Yeah. I think in my limited experience, Prabhuji, of 2 sessions or something, sometimes if you don't go very aggressive, I think they'll calm down.
Yes.
If you get into an argument with them, I think it will be a little...
If you don't react to that, they don't have a motive to do anything more.
That's it. If you are a little calm there, it will not become an argument, Prabhuji. After a minute, I think you have to let it go. And one auto driver bought one book other day. He said, this is for my daughter. She's doing her BTech. I want to give her a nice book. Then we gave him one small Telugu set for 100 rupees. And he said, I will definitely give it to my daughter. I said, this will be the best earning for you. Best gift what you are giving to your daughter. He liked it and took it.
It's almost 9. Yeah. So one question I'll just answer. Sheila Mataji has written how to motivate children in Krishna consciousness. So my son is here. So can you answer how to motivate children in Krishna consciousness? Huh? What do you want to tell? No, you tell what motivates you in Krishna consciousness. What I should not do to motivate
association it helps.
Association helps. So answer is coming from a child only. So association. Mataji, answer is association. Give them Krishna conscious association. Put them all together. They'll enjoy. Children like fun. Children like fun activity. Like 31st night we are having dramas. So that is their motive. You know, they're deciding what role they should play. Right? So to have dramas, have kirtans, make it more joyful, happy. Don't make them sit in front of a 20 people doing yajna and throwing swaha on 31st night. Obviously, they'll not sit there. But some place where there is kirtan, some place where there is drama, they'll automatically be motivated. And have more children around them. Right? So actually, I'll tell an example. Like my children were planned to go to a movie last Sunday. Right? And I requested Subbarao Prabhu, Praveen Prabhu, please don't send them on Sunday because my children are coming, they can together to book distribution, because when they're together, they're motivated to book distribution. And they did a fabulous job, all of them went around holding books like this, they were doing book distribution.
Really, kids did an amazing job on that day.
Yeah, it was so nice. It was so nice. So then what we did, we took them to movie on Tuesday and we also went to the movie. What is it? Spider-Man going back home, back to Godhead. Spider-Man Homecoming it is. I said going back.
No way home, Prabhu.
No way home. So we went to Spider-Man going back home.
Spider-Man going back to Godhead. That is the movie.
Going back to Godhead. Yeah. So So yes, so that's the way to motivate. I don't know how to motivate. I torture my children, but anyway, we should try to put them in association. Govind Prabhu tells, it tells that give children association, environment, and then they are pure by heart. They will go with
This question is this question is for my grandson. He is only 3.5 years, so he is always sit beside me. He always sit beside me, and when I am doing the japa, he also take on something. He also do me like this. That would be the motivation.
I think, yeah, you can go. Yeah, I think you can. I think you can tell him some nice bedtime stories. My wife is getting a little anxious because we have to go to this new ashram opening, and I'm still on the phone here. so that's the reason.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
So
Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So I'll wrap it up here. Prabhuji and Mataji, thank you for joining Bhagavatam class. Dhritarashtra quits his home. That was the chapter that we discussed today. I hope it was useful for you. I hope that we'll follow some part of it. I request you to read the whole chapter. I think I just spoke the chapter, but you can read it. The purports of Prabhupada are very nice for each one of the verses in this chapter. Very heavy and very instructive. It will help in our retirement. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, one thing, Prabhuji, before we leave, one thing about the book distribution today. Prabhuji, they were making three teams actually. One team goes to Inarbit and Durgam Cheruvu, and they are going early, like Satya Prabhu and co. And one team is going to Shilparamam, like last time, and one team to the Madhapur area. So books, I got extra books. I got Hindi, Bhagavad Gitas, I got a lot of kids books, and whatever we don't have, Krishna Hindi books also I got. So I'm going to go to Green Grass at 3 p.m. and start making 3 batches. So I request everybody who's going to those places, come and pick those. Again, I'll also load the van today, Malik Bhai van for Shilparamam, and your car for our area, and Satya Prabhu and Mahesh Prabhu for the Durgam Cheruvu area. So these are 3 vehicles will carry the book.
One thing I want to do is, let's start with 2 areas only, Durgam Cheruvu and
Prabhu. We'll go late. Yeah, we'll go late.
The 3rd area will attack late.
Okay.
We all will go at once. 3rd area if possible.
Prabhuji, we are planning to go to Shilparamam, Prabhuji, today.
Shilparamam, yeah. So some of us can go to Durgam Cheruvu, some of us can go to Shilparamam and distribute there. Around 7:30, what I would suggest, around 8 o'clock, say around 8 o'clock or 8:30, we all will go to Madhapur at once. So then what maximum impact will create, because there will be 200, 300 people at once, having whatever, actually more than 500 people, they keep eating and all that. And we all will do Sankirtan there. That's what we want to do. A nice Mridangam, Kartal, and we'll do nice Sankirtan and do some book distribution. From there together, we'll go to our secret place for honoring Prashadam.
Prabhuji, it was very cold, so we can come to my home and have Prashad, Prabhuji, so that the kids cannot fall sick and all, if it is okay. Just as an alternative suggestion, but as suits to everybody, Prabhuji.
No, Prabhuji, the only thing is that Malli Mataji ki andar inti raavatam photo anta.
No problem, Prabhuji, not at all a problem.
Okay, so is it okay, Brian Prabhu?
It's fine, Prabhu.
Yeah, it's quite close by na. Akkadi nunchi Prabhuji illu deggara. Okay,
actually,
so
that place is good to really eat prasad and do kirtan. It was nice, but only thing is, it was very cold last week. I don't know if anybody
it was not that cold, Prabhuji. Anta chalaguda anpeledu. Prabhuji, how did anybody else feel? I mean, was it okay or was it cold?
It was okay only, Prabhuji. It was okay only. Satya Prabhuji, actually, we can just have prasadam in front of your clubhouse also. If like outside in the backyard also.
No, the point is he's telling outside it's cold. Let's go inside the house. So it doesn't matter whether it's outside.
I mean, we are open, Mataji. Whatever is the choice of everybody. In case we should meet at one home, my home is open. That's what I was saying.
Let us do a thing. Around 8:30, we'll have a call. If it's cold, what Prabhuji told is right, na? We can nicely go have prasadam and leave.
Prabhuji, did you order the prasadam?
Yes. Prasadam is coming. This time it's very simple.
Yeah, Prabhuji. So, because we have to send Malik Bhai and all that stuff, so I am asking.
Yes. 8:30 we can send and get it.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, so let us meet for book distribution, and all the best for your future classes. All of you are taking now to your respective congregations. I go Premanande Hari
Hari Bol.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava Krishna Prabhupada Krishna Gurudev.
Namaskar.
Thank you.
Prabhuji.
Hare